So tell me, George, how does that work when you're working out distribution deals? Are you guys looking? And I don't know how much information you can give. Are you looking at direct? Are you looking at DVD? Are you looking at cable? What are you, or just all options still on that?
All options. Some of the people, and I'm talking now strictly about U.S. Several of these parties we're talking to are really interested in only one of those venues, and then there's several more that I think would like an all-inclusive deal. So we're talking cable. We are talking to a couple cable networks.
Mm-hmm.
We're possibly talking some sort of broadcast TV, free TV. Also DVD and video on demand, which from what I gather, video on demand is actually eclipsing DVD at this point. I know even Netflix is talking about eventually ending their DVD section. So all of the above, and a slight possibility of a very small theatrical type of thing, like a handful of theaters. But I'm not holding my breath on that piece.
And so far, I know that everything you've done with the film, all the screenings you've done, advanced screenings you've done, have been very successful, and you've gotten great feedback. That's right.
And I'm trying to get it up, at least here in L.A., on a few more screens. I am finding it surprisingly difficult. For instance, there's a very high-profile theater here in Westwood, which is a big kind of movie premiere area of L.A. Guy who owns that theater loves it. He'd love to have a screening there, but he says he's so backlogged with big films, like this is a theater that shows movies like Cars 2, for instance.
Yeah.
The best he can do right now is he says, I think I can throw you 2 nights, a Monday and a Tuesday, at the end of the summer. So I'm finding it harder than I thought it was to get up on a good screen. There's just so much backlog of big films, Hollywood-backed films.
What's the biggest frustration, George, the biggest challenge to being a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker like you? Is it fighting that system where you've got all these big films out and just hard to find screens for it?
Well, yeah, that and even more so. This explains why it's taking longer than I guess even I would have anticipated to get distribution. Those films, anything you see down at your local, Cineplex, wherever that is, those films probably had distribution largely, if not completely, lined up before they ever even started shooting. In fact, that's how they get them financed. They already know they're going to make their money back because they've got their whole distribution channel worked out. And the exhibitors are willing to make deals like that with companies they know, the big studios, and starring stars that they've had success with before. So, it's a much more well-oiled machine for them. It's very hard. In our case, we just shot the movie and we figured we'd land where we land later. We hadn't even really thought too terribly much about distribution. We certainly hadn't worked any kind of deals out or talked to anybody about it.
I love the Facebook page, too, George. You talked about that earlier, and we every month we link up your Facebook page on our Facebook, on the show's Facebook page and our homepage, and we're going to do that again today. I think you've always posted some good interviews on there. You posted recently you posted on there a couple of the interviews you've done and links to YouTube, and there's one of you giving a talk on there about the process of few options. On there, there's a link on that Facebook page. I think it's a great Facebook page, some great information. The film stars Kenny Johnson of Sons of Anarchy fame and The Shield and Saving Grace, and you also are able to get Rainn Wilson into the show, or into the movie. I know he plays Frank, the main character's cousin, and some other big names too. I was really surprised, some of the guys you were able to talk to into this film, and I think it looks like a great film. But has the star power helped you at all, or does that, just with the thing you were talking about a minute ago, fighting the machine, so to speak, does that help you make any headway against that, or is it just too big?
Well, it is, and that's one of the other things that we're working out right now. Is how some of the stars would be billed. We don't want the names to, just because, and Michael Sheen's another one of those names.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's in the movie, he has one scene, and you don't want, and Laura San Giacomo is also in the movie for one scene. She did that as a personal favor to Kenny because of Saving Grace. We don't want them to use those names and eclipse Kenny and Matt and Aaron Daniels, who are actually in the movie a lot more, and David Marciano for that matter. So, of course, they're very simple-minded. They want the biggest names they can get and as big a font as they can, as prominently as they can, whether they're in the movie for one scene or whatever. And, this is Kenny's movie. So, that's one of the things we've been working out too. But yeah, in theory, it should help as long as it's not misused, and that's kind of been one of the topics of discussion.
Oh, that's a good point too, because this really is Kenny, your movie and Kenny's movie, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to step aside, come right back, and finish up our interview with filmmaker George Pappy Jr. The name of the movie, Few Options. We're going to give you some links on Facebook and on our website at matineerock.com. We're coming right back with more George Pappy Jr. on KSKE. Right now, Lucky with the news.